Hello, welcome to your spectacles collection appointment. Right, I've got your spectacles here, and what I'd like you to do is if you can take your glasses off for me. Right, I've checked these to make sure they're perfectly balanced. Do you want to try them on for me? Now, how do they feel, first of all? Do they feel comfortable?
Yeah, comfortable on the bridge.
Yeah. I'll do any adjustments in a moment. The first thing I want to do is check your distance vision.
Okay.
So if you look around the room, there's a certificate over here. How does that look? Is that nice and clear?
Left eye is good. Right, looks pretty good. Just take a little bit of getting used to with the difference.
Yeah, and one of the key things is it's more important that you're looking through both eyes, because they're designed to give you the best vision through both eyes together.
Yes.
Obviously, if you'd only got one eye that worked properly, we would emphasise more on making sure that eye was best.
Okay.
Now, before I do any adjustments, and I will check this again afterwards, but I want you to just have a look down this chart and tell me what's the smallest you could read on there.
With both eyes open.
Yes, please.
So N5 is very clear.
Brilliant.
N4
You wouldn't find any print smaller than N5 in general use.
Alright.
So if you can read N5, you can read anything.
Okay. Can we just have a look at the map as well?
Yeah.
So this is map of London. Good old Bournemouth. That's pretty clear. I can see what you mean as well with the difference in the image size between the two eyes.
One eye, your image is made a lot bigger. The other one is made a lot smaller but much sharper.
Yeah. Is that because I'm long-sighted in one
And short-sighted in the other, yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Now, do you also remember me saying to you about you'd got an astigmatism as well?
Yes.
Now, I can explain better to you now what the difference is between a spherical prescription and an astigmatism. So you'll notice now, as I squeeze that in, that now is a ball shape, that's your aspheric. Once you've got an astigmatism, the back of your eye is more oval shape, and that's the astigmatic prescription.
Okay.
So that's a little bit easier to understand. I'll just do that again to show you. So that is spherical, and that's that's astigmatism.
Okay. Lovely
All right.
ball shape.
Yeah. It's nice to have the tools to show you, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So what I want to do now is just check. I did measurements on the sides of your glasses when doing the dispense. I want to now just check, and I'm going to check with the ruler first to see that they were put in the correct position to where I'd asked them to be put. So if you want to face over that way. Yeah, that's correct. And if you want to turn the other way. Yeah, that's correct as well. That's perfect. And now I'm just going to check behind your ears. Actually, the bend is pretty close. I'm just going to heat these up. I've got a heater here. It's called a bead heater. I've had this on, and I'm just going to warm up this side of the frame. I've got to be careful not to do it too long, because it can actually have the beads dig into the frame.
You don't get the noise with the standard frame.
No, because we're doing it right on top of each other. The standard frame heater would be very noisy. But the problem with this is if it's left for a while, it gets dusty and you can smell the dust burning. Also, you have to have this on a lot, whereas the normal frame heaters, you don't need to keep them on. You only put them on, heat up the frame, turn it back off again. Right, try that now. It's just making sure it's cool enough, yeah?
Just warm.
How does that feel now? That should feel a lot tighter now,
Oh,
shouldn't it?
yeah.
It's not going to move
It's
anyway.
not slipping now.
I'm glad that I've seen it on you again now. The bridge is an absolutely perfect fit.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
So it feels comfortable, doesn't it? We now know the vision is all correct. Is there anything I wanted to ask you on here? Oh yeah, have you ever thought about having tinted lens spectacles?
Yes, definitely.
I know those will go dark in the sunlight.
Yes.
But
it's not fixed.
But it's not fixed. When you're indoors, they're clear.
Okay.
This is the effect you'd have indoors with the tinted glasses.
Okay.
You can almost see a skeleton in them, can't you?
So they mirrored, holographic?
They're holographic mirrored, those are.
Okay.
You wouldn't get holographic mirrored with a prescription.
So it would be planar prescription?
Yeah.
Okay.
So ideally if you're wearing your contact lenses.
Yes. Yes. And these just go over the top?
Yeah.
Planar prescription?
Yeah.
Good for fancy dress parties?
I agree there.
Yeah.
I've worn something similar before for a fancy dress.
Very thin sides, very flexible. So.
It is. It's not the most adjustable, but it can still be made tight around your ears and on your bridge.
Okay. So the pants are slightly adjustable? Yeah. So adjust the height of everything?
But that actually is sitting in exactly the right position for you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Very good. Thank you.
So you'll notice one side is holograph and the other isn't. That's purely because it's a demonstration.
Okay.
Putting these back on. I know we've got the big mirror there, but have a look. This is a special optical mirror. Just check now, you can see the whole of the glasses on there. You can see exactly what they look like.
They're looking straight as well.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to check the sides in front of you just to see. What I'm looking for is to see if they're loose. You'll notice they spring back nicely.
Yes.
And there's no sticking, so they're not too tight. They are moving a little bit, which means that they're not loose either. They're not moving as I do that. So I've got the screwdriver here if I needed to adjust the glasses. This one would be a straight head screw. So that would have been the correct head to do that. So they're okay. Now, would you like a hard or a soft case for these?
A soft case.
If I show you both, well, that's the soft one. And the glasses would just tuck in there. My only concern with that is if you've got your glasses in, you've got them in your pocket, you're likely to squash the glasses.
Yeah, so that'd be good from a coat pocket.
Yes, yes.
Rather than a trouser pocket.
And definitely you would, I mean, it might be a case that I ought to really give you both, because you don't want to be carrying this one about. This is rather a big case and it's bulky. And although it's good when you've got the glasses in it, when you haven't got the spectacles in it, where do you keep a case that size? But if you've got that with you for when you're wearing the glasses, and then you've at least got a case to put them in. The reason you need to be using a case when you're not wearing the glasses, the lenses could easily get scratched on something, so you put your keys in your pocket, something like that. Although it's very difficult to scratch these lenses, you could easily have a problem if you put your keys in, because they will still scratch it.
Okay, so they're not scratch proof?
They're not scratch proof, they are
tougher.
They're much tougher than a normal lens. In fact, so much so there'd be a warranty on the lenses.
Okay.
So if they did get damaged, we would usually replace them without any charge.
Okay.
All right, in the first 6 months.
Any accidental damage?
Even on accidental damage.
Okay.
But we would still encourage you to keep them in a case when not wearing them.
Okay.
All right. Now I need to put as soon as we're going to give you both cases, I'll put a cloth in here for you. I'm just going to fold that up nicely for you. Now, are you going to wear your old glasses or your new ones too?
I wear my old ones.
All right.
I'll start wearing them at home.
Okay. Just remember, more accidents happen at home than they do anywhere else. So when you put them on, do be careful until you've got used to them.
Okay.
All right. And something just a little bit extra that I'm going to give you with your glasses. It's a little credit card size magnifier. So if you're in a dark area, I know that your glasses in most cases will alleviate any problems with reading, but if the lighting is poor, you may still struggle because they are distance glasses. So you may still struggle a little bit, but you can use the magnifier. And a little guide is if you put your finger on the page and then just pull down, you can actually get to where if you rest that finger on the page, no, the finger that's holding it, bend your knuckle a little bit, that's it. And you'll find that's the perfect size. It's well in focus there.
Okay.
So obviously you'd be looking at that with your glasses on.
Yes. Okay.
So here we are.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Is there any other glasses I could try on at all?
Well, I've got some which have got a light tint. These are a solid tint and they're a permanent tint. Now, if you want to try them on, they're not your prescription, but at least they'll give you...
So I like the tint.
Yeah. But of course, you'll have a better tint than that with your own glasses.
And this is a brown
outside. That one's a brown. You've had a grey on yours, if you remember.
Okay. And what thickness percentage would you say these are?
Well, those just demonstration lenses.
Okay.
So they're not a prescription for you.
Okay.
So you've got the 1.74 index, which is the thinnest lens in most cases. There is one lens slightly thinner, but not in your prescription.
Okay.
And that would be a 1.76.
Let me just have a look at the tint on this page against the background. Yeah, there's an obvious difference there, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's something I'd be interested in. Lovely.
And I have got some other frames you can try. It's more about the fancy frame with these. And I would say that these are a little bit feminine.
Okay.
But I know that some people like them that way.
So if I purchased another pair within a month, would there be some kind of discount?
We would discount them, yes.
Okay.
We'd usually give 20% off.
Right.
And that would be 20% off the lenses.
Okay.
Alright, the frame would be the normal price.
Okay. So these are obviously plastic and they're spring-sided. And you've got the screws to adjust in case they come slack.
But actually you would get 20% off however many pairs you wanted. You could have as many pairs as you wanted over 12 months and you'll get the 20% off. And this one is a little bit more blingy.
Black on the outside,
Yeah.
Bravey red on the inside.
And then stones. And again, they're demonstration lenses.
Are these plastic or glass?
They are. They're always plastic lenses on a demonstration lens.
Could you used to get glass lenses?
You can still get glass lenses. They're harder to get hold of, hence then the price would be a little bit more.
Yeah.
Also, you can't get the full index range, so you can't get the thinnest lenses. In saying that,
Yes.
the thinnest lens on the market is a 1.9 index glass, but the way they make a glass lens thinner is by compressing the material.
Okay.
So in fact, a 1.9 glass lens would be very, very heavy. Whereas when they make a thinner plastic lens, they're shaving off some of the lens, so it becomes lighter in weight.
Okay.
The lightest weight lens you can get is polycarbonate, but the vision isn't so good. They have what's called a V value, and that's got a very poor V value.
Right. What does that mean? That the vision quality?
The vision, yeah. As you look through it, it's more of an obstacle in your vision.
Right. Now, these polycarbonate more in safety spectacles?
They are in most cases.
Yeah.
Some places now they wear Trivex, which is even tougher.
Okay.
It does cost a little bit more to have a Trivex lens,
Right.
but it's a much tougher lens and the V value is better.
Okay.
So you'll get better vision with a Trivex than you will with a polycarbonate.
So it's better all round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except the price.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
No, I think that's everything. So, is my next examination in 2 years' time?
We'll send you a reminder when it's time. Because you've got a complicated prescription, we'll send for you in 12 months.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Lovely then. Thank you.